Hey everyone! Welcome to this full-length course on building high-quality metahumans inside Unreal Engine 5.6. I originally planned to release this as a paid course, but thanks to our sponsor MetaTailor, I can offer it entirely free to you here on YouTube. You'll see their outfit pipeline in action later in the course. This is a complete character workflow, from setup, customization, animation, all the way to a playable metahuman. Let's get started. First, make sure you have Unreal Engine version 5.6 installed. Then, click on the drop-down button here, go to Options, and check the box for MetaHuman Creator core data. This will download all the necessary files you'll need to start working with metahumans. This might take a little while to download. How long depends on your internet speed, so just be patient while it finishes up. Once the download is complete, go ahead and launch Unreal Engine. Now let's create a new project. I'm using the third-person template for this tutorial because it gives us a good starting point with a character and basic controls already set up. And you can name your project whatever you like. If you're working on a game, you can choose a variant here. But since I'm just creating a metahuman, then I'll click on Create to make the project. Once your project is loaded, the first step is to open the Manage Plugins window. You can find it in the bottom right corner of the screen. In the search bar, type MetaHuman and make sure to enable all the MetaHuman-related plugins. Now click on Restart Now and wait for Unreal Engine to relaunch with the plugins enabled. After the restart, right-click anywhere in the content browser. Go to the MetaHuman section and select MetaHuman Character. You can name it whatever you want. I'll just call mine New for now. Now you can double-click to open and customize your MetaHuman character. Now, if you want to use your own face for a metahuman, I recommend checking out this video by Bad Decision Studio. I was planning to show the full face scan process here, but honestly, the team at Bad Decision Studio already did a great job with it, so there's no need to repeat it. I've linked their video in the description if you want to check it out. Now, I know not everyone has access to face scanning equipment, and that's totally fine. If that's the case, you can either sculpt a face mesh in Maya or download one from Sketchfab just for practice. For example, I downloaded this face scan from Sketchfab. I'll import it into Blender and remove the extra parts of the mesh, because for MetaHuman identity, we only need the front part of the face. Once you're done with face mesh, then go to File, Export, FBX, choose the export location, and name the file whatever you like. Then copy my Blender export settings exactly as shown. Before you hit export, make sure you've selected the face mesh in object mode. I actually forgot to switch the mode first, but no problem. Just change from edit mode to object mode. Now just click export, and you're all set to import this face mesh into Unreal Engine. Now let's import the face mesh. First, I'll create a new folder and name it Face Identity. Then I'll drag and drop the FBX file into that folder and simply click Import using the default settings. Since I don't have any textures for the face mesh, I'll go ahead and delete the materials that were imported with it. But if you have your own textures, you can apply them to the mesh to get the full look. Now right-click in the content browser, go to the MetaHuman section, and create a new MetaHuman identity. I'll just keep the default name for now, then double-click it to open. In this window, go to the Create Components section, then click on From Mesh, and select the face mesh we just imported. It might take a little time to load the mesh. Once it's in, make sure to move your camera so the face is clearly visible and facing toward you properly. Now click on Promote Frame, and then just hit OK to confirm. You'll see a blue button labeled Frame 0. Right-click on it and choose Auto Tracking On. You can zoom in to check if all the trackers are placed correctly. If they're not, just right-click on Frame 0 again and select Lock Camera. This will let you make adjustments and fix any tracker positions manually. I'll fast forward this part to save time, and then we'll move on to the next step. I think all the remaining trackers are placed correctly. Now let's click on the MetaHuman Identity Solver to move forward. Now that we have our face identity set up, let's go back to the MetaHuman character asset we created earlier. Just double-click it to open. So MetaHuman Creator is open now, and we're going to go ahead and import the head mesh we made earlier. Now go to the Conform tab, and in there select From Identity. Choose the identity we just created, and make sure to uncheck Use iMesh and use teeth mesh. That way, MetaHuman will use its own high-quality eyes and teeth instead of the ones from our imported mesh. After clicking Conform, you'll see the face mesh update. That means our custom face mesh is now applied. If you want, you can go into Blend mode or Transform mode to tweak it further. But I'm happy with how it looks, so I'll move on to the body section and pick one of the female body presets from here. I actually like this body preset, but I'll head over to the Model tab and make a few tweaks. The controls are pretty straightforward, so I'll leave the rest to you guys to explore. If I explained every little thing, the video would get way too long, and I'd rather keep it fun than talk your ears off. Alright, I'm done customizing the body. If you're wondering whether you can use Conform for the body as well, I haven't tested that yet. You might be able to try it with a DNA file, but I'll test it myself and show you in a future video if it actually works without errors. Next up, we have the Materials tab. Here you can choose your character's skin tone and body texture. There are a bunch of texture presets to pick from, so just choose the one that fits your MetaHuman best. I also noticed that my MetaHuman's neck looks a bit too long, so I'm just going to tweak that and bring the length down a little. Now I'll go ahead and pick a skin tone, along with face and body textures that match my MetaHuman's overall look. Next, we've got the roughness setting. This controls whether the skin looks more oily or dry. Just adjust it based on the look you're going for. Next up is the freckles setting. I don't really want any freckles on my MetaHuman's face, so I'm just going to leave it as it is. Also, if you do want to use freckles, make sure to choose a freckles type from the bottom first. After that, adjusting the values will actually affect how they appear on your MetaHuman's face. Next, we can pick the eye type and color for our MetaHuman. For this one, I'm going with blue eyes. They just suit the look I'm going for. Next, we've got the teeth and eyelashes tabs. If you want, you can make changes here, but I'm happy with how things look, so I'll leave them as is. After that, we have the makeup tab. You can make a few small adjustments here, but if you're looking for a deep dive into makeup, I'm just not into it. Finally, it's time to choose her hairstyle. I'm just going to pick one I like and then change the color from the details panel. You guys can follow the same steps to customize it however you want. It might take a little time to load the hair assets, so just wait a bit after you double-click on a hair preset. Once it loads, I'll head over to the details panel and make her hair completely black. You can change the hair color to anything you like, but for now, let's go with black. It just fits the look I'm going for. We also need to choose her eyebrows and eyelashes. I'm going to change the color of both groom assets to black as well, just to match the hair and keep everything consistent. I'm not picking an outfit here because we'll be using a custom outfit for our MetaHuman later on. I'm done customizing the MetaHuman, and I don't think I need to make any more changes. So now I'll go to the top and click on Download Textures. If you're on a high-end machine, feel free to go with 4K textures. But if your system isn't that powerful, I'd recommend sticking with 2K to keep things running smoothly. Downloading the textures can take a little time, so just hang tight while it finishes up. Now let's click on Create Full Rig. This will generate the complete rig for our MetaHuman, so we can start using it in Unreal. Even if you see an error pop up in the bottom right corner, don't worry. We still got our MetaHuman fully rigged and ready to use. Lastly, we've got the Assembly section. I'm keeping all the settings at their default values, but before I click Assemble, I'm going to rename my MetaHuman to Mary. Once that's done, I'll go ahead and click on Assemble to finish it up. Our work here is done. Now go to File and click Save All. Once everything's saved, we can close this window and test if our MetaHuman has the correct rig setup. If everything was done correctly, you'll see a new folder inside the MetaHumans folder, named exactly the same as what we chose for our character. Let's drag and drop the MetaHuman into the viewport. Before doing anything else, I'm going to reset the location. Then I'll create a level sequence and add our MetaHuman to it. I always like to keep my project organized, so I'm creating a folder just for sequences. Then I'll go ahead and create the sequence inside that folder. Now drag the MetaHuman blueprint into the sequence, and from here we can test if the rig is working properly or not. Let's also check the face rig to make sure everything's working there too. Once that's done, we'll move on to the next step. Before exporting, make sure to switch back to selection mode from animation mode. That way, you'll be able to select the MetaHuman properly for export. Select your MetaHuman in the viewport and make sure its location and rotation are all set to 0. Then go to File, Export Selected. I'm choosing my desktop as the export location and naming the file Mary, but you can name it whatever fits your project. I'm using the FBX format here, and once that's set, just click Save. Now you'll see the FBX Export Options window. Here we need to make a few changes. First, uncheck Vertex Color and Level of Detail. Also, uncheck Collision. Once that's done, you can go ahead and click Export to export the MetaHuman. Now we're ready to move on to the next step. But there's one more thing I want to show you. But what if you want to use an older MetaHuman you created in Unreal Engine 5.5? Let's take a look at how to bring that into this project. Just go to the plus button at the top and open Quixel Bridge. Now log in to your Quixel Bridge account. Just make sure the Quixel Bridge account you're using is the same one you used to create MetaHumans back in Unreal Engine 5.5. Here I have some of my old MetaHumans that I created in a previous version of MetaHuman Creator. Some of them are already downloaded, so I'll choose one and set the quality to Cinematic. Once I click the Add button, a pop-up will appear. Just select Import and Migrate. This will bring the MetaHuman into your current Unreal project. Also make sure to click Enable Missing at the bottom right corner if you see that option. Importing a MetaHuman with cinematic quality can be a bit heavy on performance, but there's a good reason I'm using it. I'll explain why later in the video. Now click on Import, then scroll down to the Skeleton section. Here, select the MetaHuman base skeleton and click Import again. Now let's close the Logs window and Quixel Bridge. Then, open the MetaHuman character we just migrated from the previous version of MetaHuman Creator. Every time you import a MetaHuman from Quixel Bridge, it gets placed in a new folder called MetaHumans. Here you'll find the new MetaHuman file. Just double-click it to open. Our MetaHuman is loaded, and it's looking really good. Sometimes it takes a little while for all the groom assets, like hair and eyebrows, to fully load. So, just be patient and give it a moment. Right now, the preview material is set to Topology. Let's switch it to Skin to see how the final result looks. Now, if you want to make changes to the body, you can do that from the Body section. But before I make any changes, I'm going to restart the engine. Just click the Restart button if you see it here. After the restart, let's go ahead and open the MetaHuman character file again. Again, it might take a moment for the character to fully load. Once it's ready, head over to the Body section. Then go to the Model tab and click on Perform Parametric Fit if you want to customize your MetaHuman's body shape. I'm not making any changes here, so I'll move on to the Materials section. Actually, I've already shown you the customization part earlier, so we can go ahead and move on to the next section of the course. I hope you guys now have a clear idea of how to import your old MetaHumans into the new system. Okay, picking up from where we left off, let's use that exported MetaHuman and apply the custom outfit now. Big shout out to MetaTailor for sponsoring this course and making it free for everyone. I personally prefer using MetaTailor for a few solid reasons, and I'll show you exactly why in a second. So let's jump into it. All right, head over to MetaTailor and let's start by creating a new project. Now go to Import, click on Avatar, and select the MetaHuman we exported earlier from Unreal Engine. We don't need to change anything here, so just click on Next Step to continue. Nothing to change here either, so just click Next Step and move on. Here we've got the bones set up. Most of them are in the right position, but we'll need to adjust the nose tip a bit. Once that's done, just go ahead and click Next Step. It might take a little time to load the character here, so just be patient and let it finish up. And as you can see, I've got a bunch of outfits here in my content browser. Most of them are actually free and available directly from MetaTailor. Just head over to the marketplace, then go to the Outfits section. You can browse and download any outfit for free. I actually like this one, so I'm going to click on Download. There's a huge collection of outfits to choose from, and that's one of the reasons I prefer the Pro version of MetaTailor. If you're interested, check the link in the description. You'll get 70% off for your first month. Once the download's finished, just click on Apply. It'll automatically apply the entire outfit to your MetaHuman, and from there, you're ready to export it. With just one click, this tool literally saved you hours of manual work. Now, you might be wondering, What if you want to bring in an outfit from Marvelous Designer or even something from Sketchfab and apply it in MetaTailor? Let me show you. The process is actually really simple. Just go to Import again, and this time, click on Cloth/Accessory. Now choose the outfit you want to bring in. MetaTailor supports FBX, OBJ, and GLTF formats. So if you're exporting from any design software, make sure to use one of those formats. Once you're on this part, go ahead and select the outfit type. In my case, it's a dress, so I'll choose that, and then just click Next Step. Now we need to adjust the outfit size and position it to match our MetaHuman's body. And you can see all the tool shortcuts listed on the right side. They make the process pretty easy. Now just press Confirm and then click Next Step to continue. Now MetaTailor will fit the outfit onto the MetaHuman. It might look a bit stuck or frozen at first, but that's just the processing happening in the background. Once it's done, we'll need to make a few corrections to the dress. You can see the dress isn't fully touching the torso area. To fix that, just left-click on the outfit, then select the Shrink Wrap tool from the toolbar and choose Sculpt Layered. You'll want to do this part carefully. Sometimes it can shrink the dress a bit too much. If that happens, no worries. You can use other tools from the toolbar to fix and adjust the outfit as needed. Looks like the dress got shrinked a bit too much here, so let's use the Push and Pull tool to fix that area. You can also adjust the brush radius, and there's a strength slider too if you need it. For now, I'm just going to lower the brush radius and try to fix that part of the dress. Alright, I'm going to fast forward this part so you can see how I'm using these tools to fix the outfit step by step. The outfit's looking much better now, so I'm going to start smoothing it out to make sure the mesh doesn't look blocky or rough. Every outfit needs different tools and adjustments, so take your time and choose wisely. Once you're happy with the result, we can go ahead and export the outfit for our MetaHuman. Here you can copy my export settings to make sure everything's set up right. Then just choose your export location, name the file, and click on Export. Alright, we're back in Unreal Engine. Let's start by creating a new folder for our custom outfit. I'll drag and drop the outfit into that folder, and in the Import window, I'll go to the Skeleton section. Here, I'll select the MetaHuman base skeleton and then click Import. Here we have our outfit along with its material. Now I'll import all the textures we have for it and apply them to this material. I'll fast forward through the texture setup process. If you want, you can slow down the playback speed to see exactly what changes I'm making in the material. Now select the skeletal mesh of your outfit, then click on Edit BP _ your MetaHuman from the outliner. In the Components panel, select the body, click on the Add button, and search for Skeletal Mesh. If you followed my workflow correctly, you'll see your outfit listed there with its name in brackets. Just left-click on it. It'll automatically add the outfit to your MetaHuman. Then go ahead and click Compile and Save. As you can see, our MetaHuman now has the outfit applied. Let me show you if the dress is following the MetaHuman's movement correctly. I'll select the MetaHuman in the sequence, which will switch it to animation mode. Now, if I try moving the MetaHuman's leg, you'll see the dress follows the leg movement perfectly. This is working perfectly, just like it should. Now let's move on to the next chapter, animating the MetaHuman. First, let's remove the MetaHuman rig in Blender so we can prepare it for Mixamo. Just go to File, Import, FBX, and choose the same FBX file we used earlier for MetaTailor. In the Import tab, make sure to uncheck Animation before importing. And here we have our MetaHuman in Blender. First, select both the body mesh and the face mesh, then press Ctrl+J on your keyboard to merge them. After that, just double-check to make sure both meshes are now combined into one. Now go to File again and export the mesh in FBX format. Make sure to copy my export settings exactly. In the Export window, check the box for Selected Objects. Under Object Type, choose Mesh. Make sure Animation is unchecked. Then go to the Armature drop-down and uncheck Add Leaf Bones. Once that's all set, just click on Export. Now open up your favorite laggy browser and head over to Mixamo.com. Once you're logged in, you'll see an option to upload your character. Click on it, and when it asks for the character file, select the one we just exported from Blender. Now our MetaHuman is uploaded to Mixamo, and we need to place the markers just like it shows in the reference image on the right. Take your time and do it carefully. Once that's done, Mixamo will automatically add a rig to your character, and you'll be able to use all the free animations on the site. Now click Next, and we're done uploading our character. The next step is to choose an animation for our MetaHuman. I'm going with this walk animation. If you want your MetaHuman to walk in place, you can check this box here, but I want mine to move around, so I'll leave it as it is. Now I'll just click on Download, keep all the settings at default, and download the animation. Let's jump back into Unreal Engine and import the animation we just downloaded from Mixamo. I'm creating a new folder to keep the animations organized. I'll just drag and drop the animation into that folder. We don't need to change anything in the import window, just click Import and wait for it to finish bringing the animation into Unreal Engine. Now right-click on the animation sequence file and choose Retarget Animation. In the Retarget window, the first thing you need to do is select the target skeletal mesh. Make sure to pick the body skeletal mesh of the MetaHuman you want to apply the animation to. Next, select the animation you just imported and click on Export Animation. Choose the location where you want to save the retargeted animation, then click Export and confirm one more time. That's it. You've successfully retargeted the animation. Now head over to the sequencer. First, delete the body control rig from the timeline. Then click on the plus button and apply the animation we just retargeted for our MetaHuman. Now you can see the animation working properly, but sometimes it might need a bit of tweaking to better match the environment. In that case, click the plus button again, go to Control Rig and check Layered. Then click the plus button once more. Go back to Control Rig, and this time add the MetaHuman Control Rig. Now the rig is added back to our MetaHuman, but this time we can actually make changes to the animation. Let me show you how that works. So if I move her foot while she's walking, all I need to do is add a keyframe, and that change will be saved into the animation. This is honestly pretty amazing. Now I know some of you might have opinions about using Mixamo, but the whole point of this video is to teach you how motion capture and retargeting work. You can absolutely use any other mocap tool. The retargeting process stays the same. I personally stick with Mixamo because most other tools tend to mess up the MetaHuman's body shape after retargeting. So far, Mixamo animations have worked the best and stayed true to the character. Now let's move on to animating her face and making her talk. Let's start by creating a new folder where we'll import the audio file to animate our MetaHuman's face. I also created a new folder called Body, where I moved all the files we imported earlier for the body animation, just to keep the content browser clean and organized. Now I'll import the audio file I recorded earlier to use with our MetaHuman. Just drag and drop it into the content browser. Now just right-click, go to MetaHuman, and this time choose MetaHuman Performance. If you have multiple MetaHumans in your project, you can rename the file to match the specific character you're working with. Double-click to open it, and by default, the input type is set to depth footage. Since we're using an audio file, go ahead and change the input type to audio. Then in the audio section, just select the audio file you want to use to animate the face. Next, we need to select the visualization mesh. Make sure to choose the face mesh of the MetaHuman you want to animate. In my case, it's skm_new face mesh. To be sure you got the right one, you can always check the path location listed below. Once you've found the correct mesh, just left-click to select it. If you get a prompt, go ahead and click Yes. You'll now see your MetaHuman's face mesh loaded in. Now just click on the Process button, and the audio will be converted into facial animation in just a few seconds. Once it's done, you can go ahead and export the animation from here. I'll export the animation to the same folder we've been using. You can name the animation whatever you like, just make sure it's something easy to recognize later. Now just click Save, and a new window will pop up. The skeleton might look different at first, but don't worry, just wait for it to finish loading. Once it's ready, click Create, and you'll have your facial animation ready to apply to your MetaHuman in the sequencer. Now in the sequencer, first click the drop-down button and delete the existing rig. Then, just like before, click the plus button, go to Animation, and select the animation we just created. You'll see it's working perfectly on our MetaHuman. Before we jump into Live Link, in animation mode, go to the Poses section, then right-click and choose Add Existing Folder. Navigate to MetaHuman, Common, Common again, then go to Pose Library, Face, Expressions. Click OK, and it'll add the folder so you can view all the available expressions. Now that the folder's added, just open it up. You'll see a bunch of expressions to choose from. It's super easy to apply them to your MetaHuman with just a click. Keep in mind, guys, if you didn't import your MetaHuman using QuixelBridge, then you won't be able to find the expressions folder in your project. That's why it's important to bring your MetaHuman in through Bridge to get access to all the facial poses. Use an expression, just select one from the list. First, click on Select Controls, then hit Paste Pose, and it'll apply the expression to your MetaHuman right away. It's really that easy to apply expressions to your MetaHuman. Just a couple of clicks, and you're done. For Live Link, you'll need a mobile device. Either Android or iPhone works perfectly. In my case, I'm using an Android. I hope you've got your phone ready. Now head over to the Play Store or App Store and search for the Live Link Face app. Download the first app that shows up. Just click Install and wait for it to finish downloading. I'll go ahead and close the Play Store and wait for the app to finish installing. Now open the app, and the first thing you'll see is the license agreement. Take your time to read it if you'd like, and once you're ready, just click Agree and Continue. Go ahead and grant the camera permission. This lets the app track your facial movements for Live Link. Before jumping back into Unreal Engine, let's go into the app settings. Here, you'll need to give your device a name. I'm naming mine S25. Once that's done, we can head back to Unreal Engine. Now open up the MetaHuman character file we created at the start of this video. In this window, go to Tools and click on Capture Manager to open it. You can go ahead and minimize the MetaHuman Creator window for now. In the Capture Manager, you'll see a button labeled Go to Live Link Hub. Just left-click on that and wait for the Live Link Hub to open. Now click on Add Source, then select Live Link Face. This will add a new source for the facial tracking. Select the new source we just added, and you'll see your device name listed in the source details. If it doesn't show up, make sure both your PC and Android device are connected to the same Wi-Fi network. Click on your device name, and you'll see the same address and port appear below. The next step is to enter the subject name. In my case, it's Mary. That's the name of my MetaHuman. For you, just type in whatever name you gave your character. Now just click on Connect, and you'll see the live icon turn red on your Android device. Go ahead and minimize the Live Link Hub window, and now make sure your MetaHuman is selected. Then head over to the Details panel. First, under Live Link Subject, select your MetaHuman's name. Then check the box that says Use Live Link. Now your MetaHuman should start reacting with head movements and work perfectly with the Live Link setup. And that wraps up this tutorial. I hope this course helped you understand the full MetaHuman workflow, from customization and outfit setup with MetaTailor, to animation, facial expressions, and Live Link integration. Now I know there are still a few things left to cover, especially making the MetaHuman fully playable character. I ran into some issues with that part in Unreal Engine 5.6, but don't worry, I'm working on it, and I'll upload a dedicated video as soon as I've got it working smoothly. Huge thanks to MetaTailor for sponsoring this course and making it free for everyone. It's a seriously powerful tool that saved us hours of work along the way.